And I'm Naja.
I'm an entrepreneur.
And I'm a fashion designer from Denmark. I established my company 31 years ago.
She sells clothes, and I support artists to sell their works internationally. And we were wondering what's at stake in this very individual decision to purchase a piece of art that you're going to put on your wall, and in purchasing a piece of clothes that you're going to put on your skin. It's very intimate, and it's still very difficult because it has to reveal, in my opinion, a bit of your personality. Don't you think?
Yeah, I do, but I think that for me, designing clothes and selling clothes, it's a lot to do with people belonging to a certain community. It has always been like that with clothes, that you buy yourself a certain security, that you and I look alike, so I'm not frightened of you, I feel safe with you, I belong to you, and on the other hand, you can use clothes the same way to distance yourself from other people or other communities. But I think that art is such a personal choice because it's something that you put on your wall at home for a very limited audience. But that is what makes purchasing art actually even harder, because you have to feel in your stomach, this piece of art, does it really talk to me, regardless of what other things?
And this is very hard because actually people do care about what their friends will think. When our collectors turn to our art advisors team, they want a confirmation that they have good taste. You know, nobody wants their friends to think, oh, you spent that much money on a piece that looks like crap. No, you don't want to look like that. So there is a lot of insecurity, and it reminds me of me in the shop trying 3 dresses and desperately looking to the salesperson like, which one fits me best? Please help me. So we recognize this insecurity. Both of us, we take many decisions a day, and I think we are quite intuitive. But what impresses me in your job is that you take decisions that cannot be grounded on rationals, like which motive, which color. How do you do to be connected to your guts all the time?
Well, I think that taking a lot of decisions, and I need to do that as a leader and the owner of the company, of course I have to trust my intuition, but an intuition is just a sum of all my experience. So I base it on a lot of experience and what I really want to do myself. It's so difficult if you have to consider every other person's opinions. So I think you have to learn yourself to become very secure in your own choices. And then on the other hand, accepting that not all the choices that you make can be right. And you don't have to be 100% sure of anything, of every decision you take. Like, I'm happy if I'm 80% sure of my decisions, and then I just have to go with the flow for the rest.
But you took one very nice decision. I love that Munthe is collaborating with female artists every year for some pieces of the collection. Check it out.
Yeah.
And you were telling me that they're usually the most and the best-selling pieces. And why is it easier for people to purchase art that is on clothes? Like, what drives your audience to purchase these pieces that still are very unique?
Yeah, it's true. We support female artists. Before I became a designer, I was studying in art school, so art is very close to my heart. And since female artists are so underrepresented in the art scene, we have dedicated a lot of our platforms to support female artists. And I make 4-5 collections a year, and almost every collection we have a collaboration with a female artist where we use her painting or photography or sculptures or whatever she's been making, and we print it on several styles. And even though they are, some of them are quite decorated, it's normally the best-selling piece. And that tells me that I think it's easier for women to relate to, or easy to relate to art on clothes than it is for them to buy a big painting to put on the wall. And I discovered that when they buy a piece of, like a dress with an art on it, they're so interested in knowing who is this female artist, where's she from, how old is she, like what's her story. So I guess a lot of people are very interested in art, but sometimes there's a big distance for people being interested in art to go to the museum, whereas going into fashion or just buying clothes is it's much more relatable.
Yes, and these pieces are very colorful, lively, and myself too. When I wear color, I feel it reveals much more who I am. It's a non-verbal communication signal, as you were telling earlier, that you send. But sometimes it's hard. Like, I'm going to tell you an anecdote that usually I only tell among women's circles, because I'm quite ashamed to say that the hardest part in fundraising for me, and we did 3 rounds of fundraising for Singulart, is to know what I will wear in front of investors. It is so hard, and it takes so much of my mind. And last time, I was back from pregnancy, so let's say I had 15 kilos to hide, and I didn't want to spend so much money on a new closet that I hoped I will never use again. So I had jeans and very colorful shirts, but I had to meet investors, so some of them it would fit because they're rather startup. But one day we were in London, and our banker called and said, well, you're in London. Okay, before you take your train, go to that private equity fund and have a coffee with the guy you met in Paris, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I thought I had to take a coffee with one guy, and I entered the room, and there were 12 men in black suits. And I was standing here with my yellow, orange shirt, and I couldn't hide anymore. I had to be really myself. I couldn't pretend to say, I belong to you, you know, guys. And I gave the best speech, and we raised 60 million. So it helped me really to prove and gave me courage. So I know how powerful your job can be for women to feel confident.
Yeah. But it also, I mean, probably this thing you talked about was a little unintended, but I feel that every time you show courage, you are getting rewarded. And to me personally, I think that courage is the most innovating thing we can ever do, because that means that we leave our safe place, our safe space, and step into something new and uncertain. And it takes a lot of courage to do it, but it's the only way we can invent new science, new design, new music, new everything. So every day I try to celebrate and encourage all of my team to be courage to try something new and go out of the safe space.
So we hope that to be innovative, because this is what we celebrate today, innovation, creative industry, that you'll be able to connect to your guts and to think, what do you really like when you don't think about what other people think, and to accept to show who you really, really are.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.